Why my parents' visa is rejected? Why my brother's visa is rejected? I invited my friends, but their second visa is rejected, right? So I can see mostly I will focus on those documents which are not in the list, but still they are necessary, right? That's why most of the time your parents or your brothers or your relatives' visas are rejected. Why my parents' visa is rejected? Why my brother's visa is rejected? I invited my friends, but their second visa is rejected, right? So I can see enormous questions in various Facebook groups and websites and at various platforms. These type of questions like, so you invited your relatives, but unfortunately your visa is rejected. You might be a permanent resident of Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, or any European Union country. It is not required that you should be a permanent resident. Maybe you are a temporary resident, but doesn't matter. So you are a permanent resident or temporary resident. So you are thinking, why my parents' visa is rejected? Why my friend's visa is rejected? So something like this, right? So if you are living in one of the EU country and your parents or your friends or your brother wants to visit you, they need a Schengen visa, right? So they want to visit you, they need a Schengen visa, and if they get a Schengen visa, they can come to the country where you are living, and they can stay up to 90 days. And they can visit some other countries as well. So if your parents or brother or relative is not an EU resident and you are an EU resident, so they need a Schengen visa to visit you, right? So this is very simple. So, but yeah, there are some countries right outside EU as well, like they don't need Schengen visa. So for example, Mexico, they don't need Schengen visa. They can come, they can visit any European Union country and they can stay up to 90 days. But I'm not considering that case. I'm considering a case right your parents or your relatives need a Schengen visa to visit you, and they can stay up to 90 days, right? And they can visit other countries as well during these 90 days with you. You have to invite somebody based on your current residence in Finland, Denmark, or any other European Union country. For example, you have to invite your parents. So in today's video, I will let you know about all the documentation process, and mostly I will focus on those documents which are not in the list, but still they are necessary, right? That's why most of the time your parents or your brothers or your relatives' visas are rejected. If you go through this video and prepare the documents accordingly, there will be 100% chance that your visa application, your Schengen visa application cannot be rejected. It does not matter your parents are working or not working, they have the ITR, they file the ITR, means income tax return or not. So lot of questions, right? I can see in the Facebook groups. So don't worry. We will go through the document. We will prepare the explanation why we are not submitting this document and that document. So those explanations are also necessary. That's otherwise your application will be rejected. You will find lot of application regarding this Schengen visa application, right? But I can bet you will not regret if we will just go through this video. Okay, so as I told you earlier that depending on the country, so the application of the visa application could be little bit different, but there will be no much difference as compared to the essential requirements and the documentation part. Please remember that you have to fill up the application on the VFS Global website. So VFS Global has the collaboration, or VFS Global has the agreement with all these Schengen countries like Germany, Finland, Sweden, so all these EU countries. The VFS Global has the collaboration. So you have to fill up the application on the VFS Global website. They will collect the documents, they will collect your application, and they will submit to the embassy. And embassy will decide you will get the Schengen visa or not. But this is the VFS Global. You have to go through the website of VFS Global and fill up the application. So, and take the printout of the application, and then along with all the documentation and this, you have to go through. You have to go to the VFS Global office and submit the documents along with your application fee. Here is the VFS Global website. You can see vfsglobal.com, en individuals index, etc. So for example, index.html. So for example, here, visa, e-visa, and permits. You have to click here, and then I am applying from which country you are applying. For example, if you are applying from India, right? If you're applying from India, and then you are going to which Schengen country. You are going to Finland, for example. Okay, so you are going to Finland. Please remember, if you write Finland, there will be Finland and Finland resident permit, right? So you are not applying for residence permit. You are applying for Schengen visa. So just click Finland and take me to the website. So it will come apply for a visa, right? Book an appointment. So book an appointment, for example, if you fill up the application, but you need to book the appointment in order to submit the printed application after filling up along with the documents and fees. So you have to book the appointment at the VFS Global office, right? So that is a different thing. But first you have to fill up the application and what are the requirements. So just for example, click the here, apply for visa, and it will show you the guide, right? You must know like which visa you are applying. So you're applying Schengen visa. Begin your application, book an appointment, visit a visa application center, pay the fee, track your application. You can track the application after submitting the documents and all at the VFS Global and collect your passport, right? So this is the basic like steps they mentioned. So in basically you have to like fill up the application at VFS Global website, take the printout of the application, book the appointment. So if I click on the apply now, it will go to the application page. So you need to select the language, right? And then you need to create the account with your email ID. You need to select your email ID and password. So you have to like create an account, right? So I'm not going to create an account. And for example, if you're applying from India, applying from other countries like other Europe, like non-EU countries, most of the time like the application is the same, right? So now I will go to the application, and please remember at the last page of the application you will also find the list of documents which you need to like prepare or you need to submit along with the application, right? So now let's go through this application. I have already downloaded the filled application. Somebody shared with me her filled application, so I can share with you. Okay, so this is the application basically. So this application is already filled. Then, so what you need to do, for example, this is the application from India, but doesn't matter. And this application applying to Finland. But most of the time, if you are applying to Finland, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, doesn't matter. Most of the time, application is the same because it's the Schengen visa application. You can see application for Schengen visa, right? So here, after this is the printer out, after filling up the application, you need to take the print out. Okay, so when you open on the VFS Global website, so this is the application, right? So you have to fill up the surname here and the surname at birth. So most of the time it is the same, sir, right? So surname now, surname at the birth. For example, if you are a married woman, then maybe it could be changed, right? Family name, but it's okay. So then given your first name, then date of birth, place of birth, and country of birth, right? Current nationality. For example, if you are from India, you need to write Indian here, and that's it. Other nationality, you need to just cross, nothing. You don't need to do anything here. And for example, sex, male or female. So you need to, for example, status, married or single, whatever. And then you don't need to here, for example, if you are adult, you don't need to fill up this 10 and 11 here because you need to travel documents. In your case will be the ordinary passport, right? And then you need to write the information about the passport, right? So passport number, date of issue, valid until, and issued by country. So India, for example, if you're applying from India, if you're applying from Pakistan, you need to write Pakistan. So then again, here, for example, if you are, for example, your family member where you are going is a EU citizen, for example, either he or she will be EU resident or EU citizen. If he is or she is not EU citizen, so then you just don't need to do anything with 17 and 18. It is only in the case if the family member who is living in the EU is EU citizen or UK national, whatever, or EEA, European Economic Area, or CH citizen. So just leave this 17 and 18. And then in the 19th case, so applicant's home address. So your home address in India, your email ID. Remember, this email ID should be correct, right? And telephone number. So in my suggestion is write the telephone number in India and also write the telephone number of your son, daughter, or who is living in the EU. So you can also write that number. For example, if you write Indian number, and if you are coming to Finland, just write the Finnish number of Finland or Finnish number. You can ask your son or daughter, right? And then you don't need for here, for example, residence in country other than for the, like current nationality, you need to write no because you are living in India or Pakistan or wherever. Current occupation, if you are working, you need to write your occupation. Otherwise, you need to write no occupation, right? Okay, if you write no occupation, you don't need to fill up this 22. But if you write, for example, occupation, you need to write your employer address, telephone number. And for the students, you need to write the name, address, and educational establishment. So I understand that you don't have, for example, any occupation, then you don't need to fill up this 22, right? Purpose of the journey, so visiting family or friends, right? Here. And then, okay, so additional information on purpose of stay, you can just write maybe. You can just write, main purpose of my stay is to visit my daughter and spend some time with her or her family. You can write like this. Okay, member state, where will the main destination? Finland. And first entry, Finland. Okay, just for example, if your flight will be directly to the Finland, just write first entry, Finland, and also the main state of main destination, Finland. That's it. You don't need to write if you're visiting some other country. Just don't need to write. Just write like this. Okay, just single country where your relative is living. Or just write single entries. That's it. And intended date of arrival, right? So you need to write the date when you will reach Finland or Germany or any EU country where you are going, where you are in, where you intend to go. So don't write the like the date of like your departure, right, from the India or from other country. You just need to write when you will reach to the that Schengen area or, for example, Finland or Germany. So you will reach, for example, in Europe on 3rd of May, for example, you need to write 3rd of May. It is already passed, but it is just a tentative date I wrote. Okay, intended date of departure, when you will move out, you will leave the like this Schengen area or Europe, EU country. So 26th of July, for example, you are going back to India or other country from EU or from Europe on 26th of July. So you need to write that date. Okay, the most of the people, they do the mistake here, because here they write here when they have like for example the date of departure. This is not correct, right? So you need to write the date when you will reach here in Europe, in EU. Okay, fingerprints collected. If not, if you are first time applying, so just write no. Okay, and then you don't need to write here 39 and 30. Now you need to write the person who is living in EU and where you are visiting to. So, and to whom you are visiting to. So the name of the person, right? And then address, correct address, email ID. Okay. Yes. So correct address, because you will live with him or her, with your son or daughter, and telephone number. Okay. For example, if you're coming to Finland, so the number of like your son or daughter living in Finland. Name and address, inviting companies, just need to leave it. Okay, just 31, you don't need. Okay, so for the cost of traveling and cost of living during the applicant's stay, right? So basically, this is not like what you will show in the bank account or something like that. This is just you need to show like means of support. For example, you need to click on the cash, so you will have some cash, right? And get some, and if you have the traveler's check, you can just write traveler's check. Credit card, you need to click, because you when you are visiting the Europe, just get some credit card or something. Debit card, you already have. Credit card, you can also get from the bank. Okay, and you can also write, because prepaid accommodation you don't need to write, because you will live with the like your son or daughter in Europe, right? And so prepaid transport, you need to also select this. Okay, I forgot. You need to select this prepaid transport because your ticket is already booked, right? Your flight ticket or your taxi already booked. So you can tell, okay, prepaid transport, and you can submit the copy also along with this application, right? And now this is from your side, and this is from your son or daughter who's living in Europe. From his or her side, means of support, accommodation provided, yes, and all expenses covered during the stay. You didn't need to write like this. You need to click this one, select this one, sorry. Okay, understand? Okay, this is just like undertaking and all. So when after printout, you need to write the place and date, where like from your place and date and your signature, right? You need to do, because this is the printed application after filling up on the VFS Global website. Okay, so now at the last page, you can see like the documents. These documents you have to submit. Okay, you are submitting visa application with photograph. The photograph you already know at the right side. This is here is the photograph you need to. Okay, and travel document, passport, right? So your passport, and no other travel documents, just select no. Medical insurance, right? So now we have the documents, right? What documents you need? So you need to have medical insurance. And medical insurance, right, you must have, it is clearly written, minimum coverage of 30,000 euro, right? So you need to ask Bajaj Alliance or something, any like a medical who can provide the travel insurance for Europe, right? And please remember, this is very, very important now. Travel insurance company must reflect coverage for COVID-19. So you can get from insurance, this insurance company, one document, right? This travel insurance, and it should also mention that it will, the COVID-19 will also, COVID will also be covered, right? And in my suggestion, because you can also get other document like one line. Okay, the COVID, this is this insurance also covered the COVID, right? Just other document, and both document must be attached together, right? So this is also because I also because came to know like somebody submitted this document, this sorry, travel insurance, but they also asked like. Please get one more document that it should be clearly mentioned that COVID will be covered. So get this as well, right? And maybe if you or it should be highlighted as well. Okay, so proof of itinerary, you just need to click yes, because travel plan covering all the destination, flight reservation, everything, including round trip and possible third countries. They mention that it is not recommended to purchase the tickets, but my suggestion is please just get the to and fro tickets. So round trip tickets you must have. You must show that okay, I'm going on this date and I'm coming back before 3 months. So they should know okay, this person is going to Europe and he will or she will come back as well. Because this is the they suggest okay, don't need to book ticket, right? But my advice is book the ticket both ways. Proof of accommodation. For the proof of accommodation, for the proof of accommodation, because you will live with your son or daughter, so you need to have the one document your son or daughter will provide, that is called the residence status, right? Okay, so for example, if your son or daughter is living in Finland, he or she can get the distance, this residence certificate from the DVV or Digital and Population Data Service Agency, right, from their website. They need to maybe I think 10 or 12 euro, something like fee, and then they can get the certificate. So this is the residence certificate from Finland. So you have to submit with your document like your application when you will go to the submit to the all these documents to the VFS Global Office. So this is kind of certificate. Surname, address, date of moving, right? When he or she will come, like came to Finland. Previous address will also be written here, and this is the name, like address by the sorry, stamp and signature by the officials, right? So this kind of certificate, right? So they will send to you, and you need to attach with your application. Okay, so now let's go through the next is the invitation letter, and this is the one of the most important document. And how will be the invitation letter? Please remember, invitation letter will be you will get the invitation letter from your son or daughter who's living in Finland or other EU country, and this invitation, along with this invitation letter, your son or daughter will also attach a copy of your passport and residence permit, right? Residence permit, right? And it should be mentioned in the invitation letter that the person the all costs during your stay will be covered by him or her. So I will show the copy of the invitation letter, how it looks like. Please remember, right? Okay, so this is the copy of the invitation letter, you can see. So this is the invitation letter your son or daughter living in the EU country will send to you, and this is the most important document, because on basis of this document you will get the visa, right? There are definitely some other document. This is the main document. So how to prepare? So you can see, if you want, I can send the copy of this Word copy of this invitation letter, so you can modify according to your needs. So you see the title, invitation letter, date on the right side, and here's the address of embassy, embassy of Finland, right? Although you are submitting the documents to the VFS Global office, but here you are addressing to the embassy of Finland. So if you are applying in India, this is the address. If you are applying in other country, you can just change this address. Okay, and what will the subject? Subject is invitation letter for your name, right? Your name. This invitation letter is written by your son or daughter living in like EU country, but here it will be the your name and with passport, your passport number right here. And dear sir, madam, so now your son and daughter is writing. So I, name of your family member means like living in EU as a resident of Finland, for example, currently live in Vasa. My mother, father, right, whoever is coming, your name, right, because you are coming to, you are visiting, would like to visit me in Finland. I am writing this letter to support her visa application. The purpose of my mother's travel to visit me and spend time together with me and my family in Finland. My mother intends to travel to Finland. The date, remember the date when she or he will reach to Finland and when she or he will return back to India. Right. My mother will be staying with me at my owned house in Vasa, Finland during the entire duration of her stay in Finland. The trip will be funded by me, including the air travel and all other expenses. However, she has more than enough funds to support her application because this is very important, right? This is very, very important. And I am attaching following documents. What documents? Like your son or daughter will give you copy of passport, copy of residence permit because he or she will have residence card, copy of your passport, mother or father who is coming, and proof of accommodation. I already showed you the residence certificate, right? And then here, best regards. This is your son or daughter side, means like you are, because who is writing this letter? This is writing, your son or daughter is writing this invitation letter. So her or his side. So city, country, and your full signature, name, yes, full address in EU country, mobile number, email ID, passport number, citizenship India, and residence Finland if he or she is living in Finland. If she is living in Denmark, Germany, can change the country name. And the right side, the information about yourself. Full address in India, name, your signature, mobile number in India, email, passport, this. This is the invitation letter. This is the proper format of invitation letter, right? If you are inviting somebody to the Schengen country, right? So this is the proper invitation letter. Okay, so after the invitation letter, this is the proof of employment, right? This is also the important document. If you have the proof of employment, if you're going to visit your son or daughter in Schengen country, then there will be no issue, right? So you can get the have the proof of employment right from the your letterhead of your company, right? You can get the employment certificate, right? So you can also provide the salary certificate. You can also provide the income tax return or something like that. Lot of information, documents, whatever documents you can have, just provide all these documents, right? So you can provide as a proof of employment. However, here is I wrote no, means you don't have the proof of employment, right? You don't have any employment. However, like in India, for example, you are applying, then ask income tax return, ITR. But if you don't submit ITR, there is a one separate, like, for example, letter explanation. I will show you that explanation. That is also very important. If you are not showing any employment, you are not filling any ITR, income tax return, then what document you will show? Like, because without, otherwise they may reject your application because you are not submitting ITR, income tax return. So there is another document. Okay, so this is the document, right? To explain why you are not submitting ITR, income tax return, right? So again, so here the date, title, okay, explanation for ITR, the address of embassy, and you are just write to your subject explanation for your name not submitting income tax return. Why you are not submitting this document? So you have to write, I am personally writing this letter to explain why I failed to present on income tax return as part of requirements to obtain a Schengen visa to visit my daughter or son in Finland. The reason why I do not have an ITR is because I never worked as a salaried person and I had no business in my entire life. I did not need to do any work for my expenses and I am fully dependent on my husband. If you don't need to write, but you just need to say like why you don't need to work, because I have enough money, right? And however, it is written, rest assured that my finances now are enough to cover my trip expense. This is very important. It doesn't matter I worked or not, but I have enough money to cover up my trip expenses. I have prepared and set aside for this trip, which I believe that this amount is more than enough for me to support myself in Finland or any country where you are going. The purpose of my visit is to visit my son and spend time together with him and his family or daughter, whatever. I will travel to on this date and return to India on this date. Please remember again, this date when you will reach to the
European country or Finland or wherever. I will be staying at my son's house in Vasa, Finland during the entire duration. I am attaching following documents with this letter. Bank statement. This is very important. Doesn't matter your son or daughter have a lot of money. You have to show like at least, for example, for 3 months, if you are staying 2,700 euro, something like that, right? Means around Indian currency 3 lakhs rupees or less than 3 lakhs or something, maybe 2.5 lakhs or something. You need to show in your bank account. Or fixed deposit if you have any, a copy of passport. And if your husband is there, you're dependent on husband, you can also submit the copy of your husband's passport or any proof like husband's bank account details or bank statement. Please remember, you have to show the bank statements for 3 months. So be assured that in 3 months, do not get like money from here and there. If, for example, if your son or daughter wants to like transfer money, please transfer this money at least 3 months earlier. So when you get the 3 months bank account, this money will not like show up in the bank account like a bank statement. This is not bad, but still, if like your son or daughter like sends money, he has to show like write a letter that this is my she is my mother, and I always used to send money, like, so another letter is required, right? So that's my like suggestion. And so that's it. And here, my family and I are hoping for very kind consideration. Regards, here, name. So address, mobile, email ID, passport number, date of birth, citizenship, India or any country where you are applying from, and resident India. Here again, city in India and country India. That's it. So this is the explanation for no ITR. There's always a way, like, like for every problem, there's always a solution for every problem. But please remember that if you provide the good documentation, you will always be successful. Okay, so this is, so proof of financial, the proof of employment and proof of financial means, it's already done, right? So 3 months banking statements, official means of, okay, whatever you have, I already told you, around 2.5 to 3 lakhs for if you are staying for 3 months, because you can stay only maximum up to 3 months on Schengen visa, right? ITR if you have. So if you don't have, I already showed you, right, the solution. And proof of studies, for example, no. Proof of pension, no. If you're not working, if you were working, then you have proof of pension, you can show up and you can show. And then documents for third country citizens. This document is basically required for like those who are not like resident of India, right, or any country where you are applying from. So for you, just write no. Other documents, yes. So you can just write yes, because free form cover letter from applicant or something, right? So you just write yes, because you are submitting additional documents. For example, explanation why you're not submitting ITR or something. So that document, just click yes. Request for visa revocation, you just need to write no. Other submission documents, yes, just write yes. Okay, so this is all about the Schengen visa application, I think. So you understand, right? So if you have any doubt or any documentation, any issue, you can consult me, you can ask my help, and I will definitely help you at any time, right? So please subscribe my channel, please subscribe, like and share this video so everybody can get benefited, because I can see like many like questions regarding this, why my father or my mother Schengen visa is getting rejected. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for connecting Desi teacher in Europe, and see you in the next video. Have a good day.